let's see if Bobby Marks can help us read these tea leaves a little bit. Bobby, what are a couple of ways that you see this playing out for Paul George?
Yeah, he's got three options.
Okay, three options.
First option is to re-sign with the Los Angeles Clippers. But that option's been there since last July. He's been extension eligible since last July 1st for 4 years, $221 million. There has not been a deal reached as of yet. We basically have about 9 days to get there. The second option is to go into free agency. And now here's where you're looking at. Certainly, here's your wild card team, right? A little bit less money. They've got the full max to go out and get them.
Yep.
Right? They can go out and get Paul George. And then I think the third option, certainly, can you force a trade? Right? Can you force a trade as far as, and if he opts into his contract, if we see that happen in the next week, I could see certainly him being traded. I put Golden State up here, just a hypothetical.
Okay.
I'm not breaking news here.
I'm leaning forward,
but
though.
Certainly, how do you opt into your contract and then get to a championship team? Now, there's a lot of math. We don't have enough time to do it on here. But that's what your goal would be if you opt into your contract. It's a lot easier than doing a sign and trade and then ask to be traded, similar to what Chris Paul did back in 2017 when he went to Houston in that trade here. But those are your three options. You resign with the Clippers, but on their terms. You go out and sign with a team like Philadelphia potentially, or you opt in and then ask to be traded.
Well, since you brought up the Golden State Warriors, since you brought them up, let's turn our attention to someone that we know is set to hit the free agency market, and that is Klay Thompson. The four-time champion spent his entire career with Golden State, but he was moved to the bench late in the season for the first time since his rookie year. So Kendrick Perkins, there's so many tax implications, mumbo-jumbo here, but do you think the best course of action for the Warriors is to run it back with Klay, who is 34 years old, or to move on?
To move on. I think it's best for both parties, to be honest with you, Malik. A fresh start for Klay Thompson, a fresh start for the Golden State Warriors. I would like Golden State to go get a guy like Jordan Clarkson, or try to get him, right? Get some more offensive firepower, some more youth in the building, and also build and see what Jonathan Kuminga. We saw him take those steps last year. What is he going to do coming off of offseason and the experience that he got from last season? Is he going to continue to grow and build towards an all-star caliber player?
Zach, what do you think here?
Y'all know me. I'm a romantic. I want to see these three guys, Steph, Klay, and Draymond, play together forever, run in circles around the court. But you know what? Of those three players, we know Steph's not going anywhere. Draymond is a pretty unique piece. He doesn't fit everywhere. Klay Thompson fits anywhere. And there would also be something cool about seeing him say, you know what? I want to prove I can make big shots in another place. I can do it anywhere, and see him have a late career sort of swerve. Look, we don't always get what we want romantically. And we saw Dwayne Wade leave Miami and go to Chicago. We've seen these icons move around every once in a while. Of the three, I think Klay has pathways that could be interesting and kind of cool to watch. So win-win. There's some hard feelings between the Warriors and Klay. I think they need to be mended if he's going to go back.
I thought you were going to hit the Rolling Stones with me there, Zach. I guess not today. Yeah, go ahead, Perk.
Malik, I didn't expect on this Friday to be talking about romance with Zach Lowe.
You know what? The thing about Zach is you never know what is going to come when we are talking about Zach Lowe. But we do know if we're talking about love, what the Warriors love to do, right, is target big game here. So if Klay does decide to go elsewhere, Bobby, I turn to you. What does that open up for Golden State in their heart?
Yeah, I mean, keep an eye on Chris Paul here. Now, here's where Golden State is right now, $174 million. The luxury tax is $171. That dreaded first apron is $178 million. They're nearing that. Chris Paul's date is June 28th. His contract becomes guaranteed. If Chris Paul comes off, now that goes down to $145 million. Now you have the flexibility to potentially go out and make a trade, the ability to go out and aggregate the contract of Andrew Wiggins. Now, if you put Klay Thompson back in and you put him back over, that goes back up to where you're at the luxury tax.
Right.
So Joe Lacob has been on the record saying we want to spend a tax. We don't want to be in the apron here. So keep an eye on Chris Paul. That number coming off, that gives them the flexibility to go out and make a trade this offseason.
them James Harden where I pull up long range. Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA on the ESPN.